Title: Marian Spencer and the Disappearance in the Woods, 1955. In the summer of 1955, a quiet farming community in Vermont was shaken by a mystery that, to this day, remains unsolved. The case of 6-year-old Marian Spencer, who vanished in the Green Mountain National Forest only to reappear 24 hours later with a story no one could quite believe, remains one of the most perplexing and eerily unexplained events in American folklore. This is a documentary-style retelling of that incident, pieced together from surviving police reports, interviews, news articles, and later recollections from the Spencer family. Chapter 1. The Day She Disappeared. On July 12, 1955. The Spencer family had gathered at their modest homestead outside of Bennington, Vermont. It was a warm, clear afternoon. The kind of day when children ran freely and adults moved slowly through the motions of farm life. Marian, the youngest of 3 siblings, was known to be an imaginative, quiet child with a penchant for wandering. According to her mother, Edith Spencer, Marian had gone out to play in the woods behind their property sometime around 1:30 p.m. It was something she had done many times before, and no one initially thought anything unusual of it. By 3 p.m., however, Marian had not returned. A search began, first casually, then frantically. The family and neighbors combed the nearby woods, calling her name. By 5 p.m., the Vermont State Police had been alerted. Within hours, nearly 100 volunteers, including firefighters and forest rangers, had formed search parties. But the woods gave no clues. Dogs were brought in, but could not pick up a scent trail. The weather remained calm, but the night brought with it a heavy fog that made search efforts dangerous. Marian had vanished. Chapter 2. The Return. The following day, at exactly 1:28 p.m., nearly 24 hours to the minute since she had last been seen, Marian was found standing at the edge of the woods, not more than 300 yards from her family's home. She was clean. Her dress was unrumpled. She had no scratches, no bruises, no signs of exposure. Her shoes were still tied, her hair was combed, and she was holding a pine cone. According to witnesses, she appeared calm, but dazed. When asked where she had been, Marian replied, "The Silver Lady kept me safe." When pressed further, Marian described what sounded like a woman in a shiny suit who floated, not walked, and who talked inside her head. The woman, Marian claimed, had given her food that tasted like sunshine and told her not to be afraid. Investigators initially believed Marian might have imagined the event, a coping mechanism for trauma. Yet doctors could find no evidence of physical or psychological harm, and more disturbingly, they could find no explanation for how she had survived a night in dense forest, without insect bites, dirt, torn clothing, or even a hint of dehydration. Chapter 3. The Investigation. Over the next several weeks, the Spencer case became a subject of national curiosity. Local police, with help from federal authorities, re-interviewed Marian multiple times. Her story never changed. She never showed signs of fear, confusion, or deceit. Her tone remained innocent, consistent, and strangely serene. Reporters from the Boston Globe, the New York Times, and even Life magazine visited the town. Some suggested Marian had stumbled upon a secret military installation. Others whispered of UFOs and alien abductions, topics that in the post-Roswell 1950s were beginning to capture the public imagination. Skeptics accused the family of fabricating the story for attention. But the Spencers refused all offers for media appearances or book deals. Edith Spencer gave only one interview in which she said, "I don't care what anyone believes. All I know is my daughter went away and came back different." Chapter 4. Theories and Speculation. To this day, no definitive explanation has been provided. Several theories have emerged over the decades. Lost and found. That Marian had indeed wandered and then returned, and her clean appearance was a strange coincidence. Human intervention. That someone, perhaps a local hermit or even a kind-hearted stranger, took her in and returned her. Psychological dissociation. That Marian invented the Silver Lady as a mental defense against a traumatic experience. Paranormal event. That she had encountered something not of this world. In 1973, folklorist Dr. Helen V. Carlson published a paper suggesting Marian's account bore similarities to European fairy lore, where children were taken and then returned, unharmed but altered, often describing luminous beings. Dr. Carlson's paper noted Marian's description of food that tasted like sunshine was remarkably close to medieval descriptions of fairy banquets. Chapter 5. Marian's silence. Marian Spencer never publicly spoke of the event again. She lived an unremarkable life, moved to Oregon, became a kindergarten teacher, and raised 2 children. In a private interview recorded in the 1990s but never released publicly, she was asked whether she remembered what happened in 1955. She paused, then said, "I remember light. I remember floating, and I remember being loved." Then she declined to elaborate. She died in 2019 at the age of 70, without ever changing her story. Epilogue. A mystery that lingers. The case of Marian Spencer continues to be studied by researchers, paranormal investigators, and historians. Some dismiss it entirely. Others call it one of the most credible, unexplained disappearances in North America. What is known is this: a 6-year-old girl disappeared in a forest where dozens searched and found nothing. Then she returned, spotless, unharmed, and with a memory that defied logic. And in the quiet of the Vermont woods, where the fog still creeps in at dusk, people still whisper of the Silver Lady.